it is so weird walking up to someone you don't know and just starting a conversation.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, that was so easy.
You lived in a good country, by the way. Just like, you know.
What do you mean? Like, you didn't go to fucking
You didn't get
kindergarten?
molested.
You
No.
didn't go- Okay, yo.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Cancellable Podcast.
I don't know. Even have the headset on. So
Well, even if I don't have it on now, I have it when I edited, you pig.
sorry.
Damn, I missed you, boys.
Hey everyone.
What did you pig? I missed you. Guys, do fat people float? You bitches. The one episode I'm not there. The one episode I'm like,
By the way, I
wow.
found out they do. As in, let me explain. As in,
It's called buoyancy, man.
yeah.
It's not oil.
I know. That's what I said on the episode. But I said that I looked it up. People with more fat are like easier to float, basically. Like,
What if they're black?
boned in? I don't know. That's a hard.
Okay, David
formula.
Goggins.
Like,
I was trying to get in the military, but I couldn't swim. That sounds nothing like
that sound like. Anyways, hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Cancellable Podcast. My name is Bardia. I'm here with Kourosh
Hey, what's up?
and Faisal.
Hey guys, how is everything?
I'm leaving that part in.
Did you hear what I said?
So,
To all the new listeners, welcome to the podcast. I'm sure. I don't know for sure.
thank you guys for joining in. We appreciate you guys subscribing. Tune in for this episode. We're gonna continue. I don't know what else.
You're
to say.
giving the outro into the intro.
I don't know. I've never done it. He does the outro, so
Just do it like this, okay? Welcome to all the new subscribers.
All right.
We're happy to have you here, and hopefully you
You want to
enjoy.
unsubscribe?
I mean, like,
I mean,
by
if
the
you
time
do-
we finish our turn, they're like, "Fuck this shit, man!" Like, it was,
Yeah,
I
fucking
knew it was
30
a mistake. I knew it was a mistake.
No, but I hope that all of you find the podcast interesting. And Bardia, you want to talk about the minefield you have for us today?
So I've been thinking,
So slavery.
yo, no. I mean, actually, it could be related. No, let me expand on the subject. The only thing I was gonna say, the thing I want to talk about is that like, I've been thinking that like, regardless of how old you are, I feel like your personality changes over time. Like it could be a year, a span of a year, a month, or even like that.
No shit, Einstein. Okay.
Okay. Call me Oppenheimer now.
Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer.
Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, I told you, man. I told you. We talked about it.
No, you
Oh, we
talked to me
did
before you watched it.
Yes. We
You
should.
have another side bitch, huh?
I've got two Bardias.
So, it's just that like I thought like your perspective changes towards a lot of things.
Okay.
So I wanted to like expand on the subject. I thought like it would be like an interesting one, because like for example, I'll start with an example from my mind that I was thinking. One of them was for depression. Before I thought depression didn't like the concept of it didn't really make sense, and it's very ignorant of like me.
Ignorant
Me of thinking like that. Sorry, English not very good.
Whatever.
Anyways,
Get back to your
so yeah,
depression.
so I was thinking of like, for example, it was pretty ignorant of me thinking like that, but I thought like depression didn't really make sense. Like, how can you just be sad and shit like that? But then like going through some experiences, I understood.
Then my dad left to buy a carton of cigarettes.
And yeah, and then I realized.
No, then he got hit by a car.
Jesus Christ.
He didn't, guys.
It's
but
funny
nice.
enough. It's funny enough. Kourosh, your family's not here today. What happened? I wanted to test out that depression. But that's actually a really good topic to talk about.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
like later on, like I understood the concept more deeply, and like as I even listened to like, for example, there's a comedian called Neil Brennan, and he's like a very smart topic kind of a comedian, and he battled depression for the longest time. And every episode of Rogan he's going on, he's talking about every different kind of let's say study he's doing, of like experiment he's doing. Like there was like one regardless, like non-relatable, like it's irrelevant. But like he was talking about it, and he was talking about how it's like a sickness. Like it's like it is like a cold that you catch, but you can't get rid of it, and it kind of like blocks the receptors of you actually feeling joy and happy about certain things. When it's so normal, like, but in the eyes of like a normal person who doesn't understand the concept, you feel like how can you not be joyful and happy about like a certain news or something happening? So like I would just
Also
say
with depression, I think one thing that, because you got like you have clinical depression, and then you have the term that people throw around when they're having a bad day. They're like, "Oh, I'm feeling depressed today."
yeah.
I feel like that kind of took away from what people who are like clinically depressed.
The core meaning.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. I think it diluted it a little bit.
A lot of things with mental health actually comes here when it comes to social media. For example, let's say like, oh, I have to make sure this is straight and all that. Oh, I have OCD. Like
Yeah.
I can't everything like. And when you see someone do it, there's a term for this. But like, if you see someone do it, you immediately try to apply it for yourself. So like, oh, I have OCD too because these have to be aligned and shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't concentrate. Oh, I have ADHD. No, our generation, because of social, not our generation, the younger generation after us, exactly right after us, they're the ones who just say they have ADHD, but having ADHD is a motherfucker. It's not an easy thing. And like, they just, because we have low attention spans. Like social media,
Spams?
like span, low attention span.
Span.
Sorry, like I'm a bit like,
You know, I wouldn't say. So I get what you're trying to say here, but I wouldn't say that necessarily. Okay, with this generation, we have like first of all, we're talking like we're a bunch of old men sitting there, but
no, but like it's such a big difference because technology didn't grow like gradually, grow exponentially. So like the things that they were like exposed to compared to us is very different. So therefore, the product of the technology influence that they were exposed to.
But also at the same time, I mean, that's very true, right? You know, the expansion of a cell phone, the expansion of the internet, being able to connect with people overseas, it's such an ease. Like I remember when I was a kid, for you to talk to someone, to even get a voice call over internet with someone in another country was like you were in a spaceship or something like that.
Was that even around our time?
No, like MSN, you used to have MSN and then you could do like a voice call like
I
that.
don't
And
think
it
with-
barely worked, you know, it barely worked at the
I
time.
don't think with the Iranian internet connection,
no,
we
we
even
don't.
had that as a choice. Like I don't remember that at all.
But the thing is that I think what you're saying is something that's always been there because I'm actually someone who look, I believe that people can have depressive episodes, right? You can have moments in your life, and I believe everything's like yin and yang, yeah? If you're always happy, will you like if you're always happy, you will never really get to appreciate being happy. Yeah?
Yeah.
They say if it's always sunny, you take the sun for granted, right? But then when it rains once in a while, you appreciate the sun coming out after.
In general, the sucky things make the good things better.
No,
like feel
but,
better.
No, but
you know?
that's the thing, you know. So when you come to labeling, right? When you come to talking about OCD, oh my God, I can't study, so I must have ADHD. That is a typical human behavior, from at least what I understand, of us taking the blame and moving it to something I can't control. I have to be born with ADHD. I have to be like I myself. I have moments where, you know, it's like I could be in a room with 50 people laughing and stuff, but I feel alone. You feel completely
Yeah.
and people are around you, and these are good people who are talking to you, and you know you're in that environment, but you truly feel alone. You know, so I understand that people can feel that, and I understand that it is something. And you know, if you were gonna go to the thing and be like, how can people be depressed? Again, you see, what happens between you and me is very different to what happens between me and my mind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have many things that happen in your life, ways you think about yourself, which only amplify in your mind. People can be insecure about how they look. People can be insecure about so many things. People could have something happen to them where they, let's say you made a mistake in your life and it keeps compounding in your mind that you know, I regret that. And, you know, why do you think mental health in men is now becoming, it should always be, right? But why do you think now it's becoming such a topic? Because, like, funny enough, when I was looking online on Instagram, people were talking like, in women's football, women actually suffer from suicide, and one woman dies every week, right?
There's that many women playing soccer?
No, the advertisement was of football players.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and one of them like fell, and she was trying to get back up, and they were like, "Did you know that 1 in every 5 women die in a week from suicide?" I don't know the exact numbers,
Okay.
but I commented on it, and I said, "Did you know that 5 men die in a week due to suicide?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and in the UK they even have a statistic. We'll put it on, like we can put it on the screen.
yeah.
But the thing is that I do believe that depression and mental health issues can come from depression itself, because you don't have an outlet, you don't have somewhere where you can kind of repair yourself. It's
Like mental health issues in general. I mean, obviously there's categories, but it can be a bunch of different like reasons for it. One could be genetics, one could be environment, one could be like upbringing or like trauma, or it could be like a compounding factor of like an element of each one. Or obviously there's like certain stuff like I don't know, like being like a psychopath or something that's like more genetic than beaten into you, I think. But like stuff like depression, because mental health is such a big umbrella of like everything that falls under it. But I forgot the point I was gonna make.
It's okay. I mean, look, but no, but you talking. Okay, I understand what you mean. That mental health has a huge branch, right? It has roots. Depression itself could even be an effect of something else that's happening there, right? But there's a very interesting quote that comes out, and there was a very famous, I think, American author. I'll write his name. He talks about the more intelligent the person, usually the more depressed they are.
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Because you're considering a lot more possibilities, a lot more. You question a lot more things that other people might not question. That could lead to.
I was gonna tell you this like while you were talking. I was saying that maybe my perspective will change later on, and I'll like change my mind about this. But I generally think that people who are usually happy at all times are people with like, again, my opinion, but like are people with lower intelligence. And the thing is that because you know how the term ignorance is bliss?
That's true.
People who with lower IQ are more like oblivious towards everything that's happening. Like, so they're just less considerate about all the fucking shit that's happening around them. So they're just more ignorant. Like, so that's why I feel like people who are higher intelligence are more aware of so many things that are happening around it and taking so many other things in perspective. Like they have such a broader grasp on everything around them, rather than compared to someone who's just like, I just only think in this straight line, so like as long as this is it, I'm happy.
But let's get back to more broad, like the whole topic you want to discuss. This episode was perspective, right? What made you switch? Yeah, but what made you switch like from the original? You said like the original standpoint you had on, like, for example, depression and not understanding it, to
going through it.
like
I had
experience.
an experience, but I know very difficult to understand like me experiencing that kind of emotion. But like, yeah, I did, and it obviously opened my eyes about it. And like, there are so many other things. It's just that now I know that like for so many things that I was thinking about, like this whole concept in terms of perspective, is that like one is that I used to give my time so much to people around me. Now I know that I should always listen. Like another thing that has changed is that I know that I should listen more, but at the same time I feel like I shouldn't waste my time just listening to everyone fucking around me. I should make use of the time and give time to people who actually value their opinion, and not just give it to anybody else, because a lot of people around you just waste your time, or it's just such a passive relationship that you shouldn't be like so invested in terms of like your time, the value. Like time has such a high value that we really just like go along with, like thinking that it's just given, but like all these stuff, like
I think that in general happens as like you grow older, because like when you're in like high school age or maybe like uni age, like early 20s, you still don't have that much going on. So you don't understand the value of time. You just spend it with whoever, whatever, just to like make time pass. But then later on, when you like get a bit older and you understand responsibilities, your goals for the future kind of like come into shape, hopefully in your like mid-20s, late 20s. I think that is what, like, that's when you realize how valuable time is and your perspective shifts.
But also, you have to think about it like this. This is something that I think it was just like a fucking post that I read, but it was saying that like there's no single formula about like how figuring things out works. You know, everyone has their own way of figuring out like all the factors that like affect their lifestyle, like their goals and everything to it. So just wanted to put it out there that like even that, like the early 20s, mid 20s, some people are still fucking around and like are happy with how their life is going till like the mid or late 30s.
Yeah.
And then afterwards they're like, now this is what I want to do, and they go along, they're fucking happy till they die, you know? Like some people are miserable till the moment they die because they still don't know what the fuck to do.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's just all. That's what I mean about perspective, is that like it's so wild that like a single experience. That's what the whole everyone thinks that, oh, if you want to be smart, you just have to like, it's either street smart or book smart and stuff like that. If you read more, if you obtain more information, if you know more about fucking astrophysics that we're talking about, or like anything else, like something else, like you're smart. No, but like the wisdom, that's the part that that's the part that actually mainly changes a lot of perspective. That's the thing that like is one of the biggest teachers about like how you should like understand things. And that comes a lot with experience. Like
I think you're talking about three different things, right? I think
50. Let's go.
No. In terms of when you talk about knowledge, right? You talk about wisdom. Wisdom is the understanding on how to deal with events and deal with people due to experience. And knowledge is like, I'm a person, I love to, like, sometimes I stay up at night and I think about something and I want to just research it. I read about it. Genghis Khan. You know,
I'm with you. Rabbit holes all the way.
yeah.
Like,
So,
I'm
but I always
like,
but the thing is that also at the same time, you know, people always say like I refuse to believe it, but then I look at it and I go like, is it really like that, or are we just limited to ourselves? Like you say, book smart and street smart, right? But someone being street smart means that they know how to hustle people and deal with people, right? You know how to work a person better than let's say you memorizing text for an exam, right? But I don't think that limits you to being someone that can only be street smart.
No.
You know?
I'm not trying to like.
Not saying you are.
I'm not trying to like exclusively divide and categorize people into like one branch. I'm just saying that like everyone talks about the street smart and the book smart, but like the wisdom that comes from like the actual experience that you try and do different things, that could be also categorized under street smart. But street smart could also be emotional intelligence. For example, people who are like very smart but they don't actually know how to like how carry out a single conversation, you know, or understand a single person that's talking to them, or like showing any sort of body language. That's like emotional intelligence, to understand what to react and act and do. That's what I'm saying. Like in general, I was trying to like exclusively put anyone under a specific branch.
No. I understand that, but you were talking about three kinds of, let's say, wisdom or smart, right? Yeah, that wisdom. Exactly. It's how you deal with someone. You know, Kourosh could be a genius when it comes to building a building, right? Yeah.
Bad example.
No. Sorry, building a building. Let's say he could become a fantastic civil engineer. Can, you know, do anything, something so complex, but at the same time, he wouldn't understand that he's hurt someone's. That's emotional IQ, right? He hurt someone by saying something, right? I'm just saying that, you know, I don't believe that human beings can be just solidified into that, because I've heard it many times. I've had friends who, you know, they say, oh yeah, you know, this guy, he's shit at school, but he's street smart, you know, street smart. Like, I feel it's so insulting to you see, God has given us such an amazing tool, which is our brain, which apparently we haven't even used 20% of it.
That's not true, by the way.
How much is it?
It doesn't work. Like, it's not like, oh, we use 10% of it, and it's not like a percentage thing. But anyways, continue.
No, but if you...
Okay, sorry, continue. Yeah.
No, but I'm actually... like,
Apparently that's not true. We use all of our brain. but how we use it and are we
It's not optimized.
optimized? Yeah,
Exactly. So it's not like it's not like the lights are on in one left corner, and but
Well, debatable.
No,
with
I
some
mean-
people.
but that's the thing. I believe like I like okay. One weird thing for me is that I believe that I can know someone really deep in the first 15 minutes of talking to them.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I feel like by talking to someone, because I've met so many people, I'm not saying I've met like more people than so many other people, but it's because I felt like there are people you meet that just follow the same theme. You know what I mean? Like you meet someone who's everyone's his friend.
Yeah.
You know, and he's very loose with the words, saying, "Yeah, you're my closest friend. You know, you're my this. You're like."
Actually, I think that comes down to how they say, "Oh, every human is unique and whatever." I don't believe that. I actually think there's like 10 categories of humans. A majority of people fall under. That's why you like when you talk with most people for like 15 minutes, kind of like what sort of person they are. It's because you've met people that are very similar in trait, how they behave, how they talk, and all of that, and you can easily categorize. And our brain is really good at categorizing shit in general and picking up trends. So I think that's the reason is that
That's
we're
what
not
I'm
as
saying.
unique as we think.
I think we are unique in that sense that, with the brain not being optimized, we'll say. Yeah. I think that our brains get sort of morphed into a group of people. Like, let's say, you always see a person who, I don't know, you see a guy who loves cars. And then you have like 50 other million people who love cars and probably love the same movies, like to listen to the same music. It's not always the case, but I think that societal norms make the person like that. It's like where you have these conventions for like anime and Marvel. You have millions of people running to see Marvel. They base their life off that love. You know what I mean, for that thing. But you see, that's the crazy thing for me.
Well, what about you? What's something, I don't know if you have an example off the top of your head or not, but like the example that Barty gave, that his perception was one thing and then it changed. Is it something that comes to mind for you, like since you were younger till now?
I think when you're a kid, you think you can do everything in the world, right? And this might seem depressing, but it's more of you just growing up, right? When you're a kid, you're like, yeah, I can do so many things. I can become this, I can become that. I want to be a pilot, I want to be that. But then as you grow up, you realize that these doors close, right? One example of what Bardia had said, that, people are miserable to the day they die, is my biggest fear, right? And I see myself in some days that I'm completely miserable for no reason. I have a roof over my head. Alhamdulillah, I have a good job. I have my family who's in good health. I have my good friends. But, back to that point of, it's like, because you know all that, because you read and because, not being smart, because I wouldn't say that, oh yeah, because I'm smart, I feel that I'm sad, yeah? Right. But because you've been exposed to so much, right? From a young age, my family always, told me to travel, and, the world is so big and stuff. I feel like we really do take for granted the time we have on this earth. And I myself am like the biggest example of that failure, because I've always said to myself, I'll do something, and I just see the time. Like, you think of it like this. You have 365 days in a year, right? And in a blink of an eye, 365 days are done. You just remember making your New Year's resolution, and then you're already looking at the, you know what, in 3 months, it's going to be New Year, new me, new this. And for me, it's like, shit. 5 years ago, I was 15. And I was thinking, no, I'm saying in my...
Like that math did not add up.
The mathy.
Yeah.
I mean...
I get what you mean.
In a blink of an eye, I remember like it was 5 years ago that I was 15.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about, I'm going to go to this university and I'm going to, be what I want to be. And it doesn't really turn out like that. There's many things that, due to you having a choice in your life, you kind of set yourself on a path, you know?
It's really hard to get out of
and
that.
I think I realized that, and it's sort of pushed me to really like do travel, to really want to get out of my comfort zone in that sense by by traveling, by meeting people, by trying to experience things. Like it's just for me that perception of time is it's so terrifying because you know I remember tomorrow not having a dirham in my pocket, and then the next day I have money in my pocket. You know.
Let me ask you a question about the thing you were saying that you sometimes you feel like extremely low and you can't find a reasoning. You're like, I have a roof over my head, my family's healthy, and all of that. Because I've actually thought about this and I've gone through this. Do you think one of the, I can't say major, but one of the reasons is comparison, being exposed to so many different people with different lifestyles?
I think you and I have talked about this before. I think the most toxic thing we have now is these fake, I wouldn't say influencers because I wouldn't want to target those people saying they're bad people.
Yeah.
But you have this such a manipulated portal into people's lives where you only see the good.
Filter.
You don't see the girl who comes to Dubai and mashallah, she's staying on a yacht. She's staying in Burj Khalifa. You, me, and Bardia are working our asses off to pay our rent. You're looking to save money to go on a nice trip. But this person, this guy or whatever, is getting everything easy. And they're always in the sun. They're always having a good time.
Yeah.
Of course, their lives are not like that. You know, some of them have to get on their knees.
That was such a big twist. But I get your point.
But I mean, it's that I've seen in myself that really ticks me in a way because I'm like, shit, you know, look, you're 30 years on this earth, right? And what have you accomplished? This person who's half your age, regardless if they're street smart, they sold whatever, they did that. What have you done that in a way, when you have children and those children ask you about the world, you're not going to tell them, oh, I sat at my desk and I watched the world go by.
Yeah.
Rather, I would tell them, and I'd love to tell them that, you know, your father was one time on a train in Indonesia going like this, and you know, one time.
Then he got on his knees.
It was a quick stop. I slipped.
I couldn't make money, you know, like, but.
Grabbed the guy's pants.
Okay, that's too descriptive, buddy. What the fuck? But so is that how it was in Vietnam?
No. The dicks are small.
It wasn't like this. It was like pins and needles.
But the thing is that for me, that's the thing, and I sort of get these anxiety moments where is this all of that it is for us? Because 10 years from now, I'm 40, and then I always want to have children and plan. Like I feel like I still haven't lived and experienced everything I want to experience before I have my own children. Because when you have children, you know, a lot of people say, a lot of parents I've met, they say once you have children and you have a wife and you have all this, it's no longer just your life. You can't be so irresponsible to want to, like, you know that next year we plan to go to that MMA camp
Retreat,
for like 2 to 3 weeks, right? Dude, could you do that with your family being around, or you having to pay the bills as much as you need to, like, compared to now?
Not.
So
I'm gonna be doing the podcast by myself, just like staring at the camera. So today's rant of the Cancellable Podcast.
those two motherfuckers,
They're just doing their shit, and I'm just like, "What's up, guys? Like, let me tell you about what grinds my gear today."
yeah. And another point is, I think maybe, you know, it's a blessing and a curse. Sorry if I'm taking a long time on this. Yeah, it's, you know, I'm sure both of you know who Plato is.
Yes.
He was a Greek philosopher, and he has something called the allegory of the cave. I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the podcast. It's a very interesting concept into the human psyche and how people are. And it's so amazing that someone from that ancient time, you know, is able to paint a picture so simply.
Wait, what is it? I don't know this one.
I'll explain to you now. So the allegory of a cave is literally a metaphor and an idea of human psyche. Now, I'll paint the picture for you how it is. So imagine you have 3 men who are prisoners in a cave. Okay? And the idea is that they are all facing a rock, okay? And behind them, there is...
No, it's a wall, and behind them is a fire.
Behind them is a fire, and there is 2 guards. And the 2 guards make animal shapes, and it's put on like a projector on the wall, okay? These people cannot move their heads left or right. They just look at what's on the rock and all the shapes through their whole life, okay? Or let's say 4 people, okay? There are 4 people there. And the idea here is that these people, all of them have the chance and are looking at this, and this is all they know, right? One of them breaks free. One of them, by some chance, breaks free and finds the stairs and runs out into the world. First, he is like terrified of what he sees because he was in a dark cave that only saw, like, he knew a horse looked like a horse because the guy made a shape, stuff. But when he goes out, he sees different colors. He sees water, rivers and stuff. And the first thing that comes to his head is, in the beginning, he's terrified, but then he's like, everything's a lie from what we know. So he goes back to the cave and tells them, guys, there is a world out there that is so different, that is so this. You just need to believe me. You need to believe me that, let's break your chains and stuff and we'll go. And you know what they did to him?
Killed him.
Killed him. They got so angry at him because he was challenging their beliefs in what life is.
Yeah. You sure he killed him? I don't know.
So they say that they hit him and they got angry, but people say that Plato's extremism is that they killed him in protest.
It's been a while since I've read that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a very interesting understanding that, once you are exposed to something that is not in your life, like a comparison, right?
Yeah.
You tend to get like anger towards it. You tend to, shit, like, fuck, I'm not doing that. I'm sitting here and I'm working and I'm doing all this kind of stuff and I'm not getting that. Like
envy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, us human beings are, it's crazy that, especially when you come to religion and you come to all these things, and you have, the 7 sins. And although people think that, oh yeah, it's just a book and stuff, they really do look into the human psyche. Why is greed such a bad thing? Why does envy cause people sadness? Is because we compare ourselves to what we don't have. And I myself, I'm a victim of that. Because
honestly, that's one of my biggest struggles, is that I'm torn between the idea of make a lot of money and try to make as much money as you can, provide a really good life, as good of a life as you can for your future children, all of that, or go live in the middle of the jungle in fucking Thailand or whatever. You don't need to make that much money realistically, and just have your wife, children, whatever there in a small village, and just be content with like that lifestyle.
But you already know, like you've come out of that society, and now like you're like, you know what? I don't want my kids to grow up in a society where everyone compares each other. We're gonna go live in the woods. But you automatically like me myself, right? When I go and travel, we're all blessed with living in a certain standard of life. When you go to a country where, let's say an example is Thailand, right? If you go to the slums of Thailand, even the normal areas of Thailand, the rural areas, you see that these people are, so appreciative of what they have compared to us saying, what the fuck, I'm not going on holiday and stuff. These people are working on fields.
Bro, the most joyful people I've ever met was in a trip to Kenya in the middle of nowhere. We were like helping like build a school or whatever. And like, I've never seen people have so little and be so joyful. And when I say like they don't have anything, we gave them chocolate bars and they've never tasted chocolate before.
And you guys started that now. So
no, they tasted it and they spat it out, which got me really mad because that was the last piece I had. But
so I killed the whole village.
No.
We're not talking about that right now. But
That's
why I can't go back to.
No, but like this is a really big struggle for me. One is the typical Western dream of like, oh, have money, have a good life like that, or have a life that, from what everything I've seen from my travels and everything, people are living that life seems to be more joyful with a basic level of basic level of living.
Sorry, just
oh fuck, it was something.
Go
Sorry,
no, say it so I can.
There's a very I think interesting saying, a conversation that happened between two people, and it was a missionary, a Christian missionary, who went to an it's not a joke, okay? He went to what's the name of them? An Eskimo? No,
okay.
No, they're not called an Eskimo. Then there's a name for them. The people from like northern Alaska, and they live.
Okay. Let's go with Eskimos, yeah.
And he went to him and said, I am bringing the word of Jesus to you, and if you do not
Obey.
Sorry, no. And if you do not pick him as your savior, you will burn. And you know what the Eskimo said to him? Then why did you bring him? I was living my life happily.
Yeah.
You know, I was living my life happily, and you came and you enforced this new change in my life and told me, yeah, if you don't do this, you know, you're going to burn in hell. And he goes,
fine till now. Till you
yeah,
came.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then why bring it? You know,
Yeah.
it's. I think it's a beautiful conversation between someone who's so simple-minded, you know, a simple-minded person who lives in an igloo and this kind of stuff, to a guy who's educated and going and spreading the word of you know, his God at the time.
Yeah.
It's a crazy thing. Yeah. You can take that and flip it into so many ways, and now you have a window in your pocket. You open it and you look at people doing everything. And
that's what I was trying to say as well. Is that like it's a matter of a person, like for example, that person you met in Kenya or that Eskimo, I'm saying, right? So like they are pretty content with what they have, and they don't have that thirst for like what other. This is what you said as well about like you're so exposed to other people and what other things you can achieve that you constantly have that thirst, and therefore you feel like what you have is not good enough, which kind of gives you a feeling that this is not good enough, so I can't be happy with it. And two things I was gonna say. One interesting about the country we live in. Did you know that in Dubai, seasonal depression comes during summer?
Because you're inside more and you don't go outside?
So like everywhere else, like UK, for example, is during the winter time. It's cloudy, it's cold, you just want to be inside and everything. In Dubai, it's the exact opposite. Because it's so hot and humid and the weather is not that great, you want to stay inside. So you're constantly just like being inside. And also what happens? Like we work like all the time. A lot of people travel, so you keep seeing. You want to hang out with friends, but
that's actually really true. Yeah, that really fucks with me.
Of your friends are traveling, but what are you doing? You're staying here inside, just like seeing them having fun and everything. And let's be honest, I know barely any people that like travels and doesn't post on social media and stuff. But I'm just saying, like they really put it out there, and you're exposed to that. You're constantly inside. The weather itself is like gloomy, but it's hot and everything like that. So you're just like,
you're exactly correct. By the way, like what you've said, you've hit the nail. Like you've hit the nail with a hammer perfectly.
I've never thought of it, but actually,
it is.
Like
it's
for
a
me,
fact.
for me, I do feel a lot more depressed during the summer.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is that you see, a lot of what's really so there was a discussion that was happening about how mineral deficiency, right, can affect your mental state, right? Do you know that one of the highest countries of suicide is, you know where?
Japan?
Finland.
Oh.
Finland has one of the highest suicide rates in the world. They also have the lowest amount of sun available to people. And a lot of the times they say that vitamin D and vitamin C, although vitamin C doesn't come from the sun, vitamin D itself actually affects your mental state because it affects your brain. And you know what's funny? When I broke my finger, I went to the doctor in Dubai, and he said to me, "Do you know that people who live in the Middle East have very low vitamin D because you avoid the sun?"
Yeah, almost everyone is deficient here.
You know what's because of Huberman, there's this thing that says, "Oh, you have to expose yourself to sunlight because of different things." But one of them is like you have to be outdoor. Now, recently, it's been saying for like an hour.
Yeah.
Right. And I was talking to this doctor that I know, and I was like, yeah, so basically this guy's saying that like you should be out, you should absorb the sun and everything. So every morning I try to do that, like when I go for the cardio, whatever. He's like, that doesn't do shit. When you want to absorb that vitamin D is when your shadow is longer than you. Meaning what time? That's like peak after time. 11. Meaning it's the peak time of heat when the sun is like really ragingly up. That's when the vitamin D absorption comes in. So like when we do this 5 to 10 minutes, it's good because of for different reasons. Yeah. But in terms of like helping the dopamine and serotonin releases in your blood because of the vitamin D absorption and everything like that, no, it doesn't. You have to be in during that peak hours, which can happen.
It's pretty tough though.
Spring, winter, fall, spring, maybe. But here during summertime,
Realistically, it's not going
you
to happen.
can't. Like you have a dog, so when you walk it, if
No,
you're
but
gonna walk it
also-
for an hour,
He's not gonna walk at 12. The feet will
No,
burn.
but even if the heat wasn't an issue, like work.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you can't just like
Exactly.
Oh, at
How
one
are you
I'm
gonna-
going out for an hour.
Yeah,
Let's just sit
imagine-
in the sun. You know.
And imagine work clothes. Like you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go for a smoke break for an hour. Go downstairs, come back. It's like
You know, I've actually been thinking of telling my boss if I could work from like Bali or something for a month.
if you have the option, that's dope as fuck.
I swear, man. Somewhere where I can appreciate being outside more.
Yeah.
You know, we did travel actually, like not a night, and we went to Jordan. Jordan, the weather is really nice, and like there's a lot of mountains and everything, and the oxygen level is extremely fucking high because you're constantly surrounded by trees and like mountains and stuff, and like the weather is actually chilly. I mean, not chilly. Like I wear a t-shirt, but everyone wears a blanket at night.
Mountains,
Because
yeah,
it's
make it
breezy,
cooler.
You know,
Yeah.
because Jordan is not a kind of a country you think that there's high buildings and stuff. That's what I thought, but it's not. It's like very low level, not low level. You get what I mean? Like the
Like 2-story,
low-
3-story
exactly
buildings.
that
yeah.
kind of building. So the wind itself is not blocked by so many barriers to come through. So that itself is one thing.
Yeah.
When we came back, Nat was feeling like, oh, I feel like it's like the weather is like stuffy and everything. But when I came back, I was like, this is how Dubai is now. During like August, July, like that's how it is. Like there's so many great timings of the month, like the year, but like the July and
If-
August, we get really
Sucks,
hot.
yeah.
If you actually go to Hatta area,
Oh yeah.
if you go to
Yeah,
Hatta,
so
it's
nice.
much cooler because
Yeah, but
the
what are you
raw
gonna-
no, because the mountains actually form cooler air because mountains create
Bro,
Rain clouds.
in Jebel Jais, for example, it's like mountain area, correct? In UAE, when it's wintertime, there's snow sometimes there. You were surprised because UAE, you've never seen snow other than like the Emirates Mall part. But
advertisement.
advertisement sponsor of today's episode. But like that's the. I wanted to get to this point though. Have you guys ever watched the movie Click?
Yeah,
Adam
Yeah,
Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah. I recently rewatched it with like the fam, like I think it was last week, and I was telling that I was saying like at least once every week or every 2 weeks, I think about that movie.
Oh yeah. Same.
It's such a deep movie, and like people really like hate on Adam Sandler sometimes, but like
I can't stand him,
love-
but that's a really good movie.
I love most of his movies, but that movie itself is the perfect example. This person, it shows that like if you time goes passes by really quickly, and you miss out on a lot of things that could be important that you don't deem them as important at the moment. So, for example, remember that he wanted to build the treehouse with his kids. It went 3 years later. The treehouse wasn't built. He thought that if he works hard on the project he's doing to make money to provide for the family's gonna be happy. What ended up was that he became successful. His wife left them. His kids resented them. So because like you don't, it's the appreciation of every single moment that there is. If you're sick, you value how being healthy is so good, and you feel so like peak like.
What
So you're
you
coming
took away
back-
from that video and what I took away from that movie, very
No,
different.
I mean different points, but like
I really like the pause button. Just like
you know when he pauses and fucking kicks the guy in the nuts during the argument. Imagine like.
bro, I think about pausing moments at least 5 times a day just to fuck with people. Either for my joy or to let my anger out.
No, but imagine
That would be
traffic.
such a in traffic.
Like the fast forward button, right?
Yeah.
But traffic sucks regardless. No one loves traffic, and no one loves being sick. Like that's like a pretty standard thing to dislike. But in general, if you think about it, when it comes to like traffic itself, you're like, you know what? Like I listen to Audible when I'm in traffic.
Man, these plugs you just keep putting in. I listen to Audible.
We are
You might
sponsored
not-
today, but
You might not see snow unless at Mall of the Emirates.
or Jebel Jais. There is the world's longest zip line in Jebel Jais.
Someone died on that?
I did it.
I thought you said you died. Like we're sitting with a ghost. Piss, I've been dead for years.
Daddy, bitch.
Oh no, we're gonna get so much hate for that one.
No, but they just like, for example, like, yeah, it sucks, but like there are things that you can take away from it. Oh, I was stuck in traffic. I listened to this book. I fucking loved it because it informed me of so many this and that, right? I was sick.
What point are you getting to? I'm
just-
so confused.
No, I'm
He's
just
talking
saying-
about the good and the bad and what you
like
can do.
how he said yin and
Oh,
yang,
okay.
the peak and down, like everything about the Click movie is that like it tells you how to appreciate it, like every single moment, and not to fast forward through things, because if that's supposed to be the default setting to fast forward through things, like you're just gonna let your whole life pass by and you're gonna
So
die.
do I go live in a jungle or not?
That's
What's the answer?
what makes you happy. Like you don't have to
Jungle.
go live in a jungle to have a family also, because having a family is not the norm to like, oh, for you to be happy you need to have a wife, 5 kids.
No,
like,
I
this
want
and,
to.
like,
I want to have.
no, so that makes you happy.
Oh, I want.
So- I'm not saying you, I'm saying in general. When you said like, do I have my family in a city or like a jungle, I'm saying like, don't make that constant just because it's a norm. Make that with whatever is your formula is your formula, which what I mentioned earlier. Everyone's unique in their way to what makes them happy. You give me a very blank.
If you want to, if you are living in the jungle, right?
Mm.
Are you bringing Wi-Fi with you?
No.
You're willing to live off the grid.
I would love to live off the.
No
family
sunset.
just
No
died, by the
sunset.
way.
What is it? The show, what is it? What's that show he watches? The
Oh,
one
Selling
Selling Sunset.
Sunset.
None of that.
First you said no sunset. I'm like, where am I living?
Amazon.
Just lock me in a cave.
It's the cave of Plato, actually. Like it's the
No.
only source of light is the fire.
Bro, imagine you see me Che there. Hey, what's going on?
living my
He
best
invited
life.
me over and I can't fucking leave.
No, but tell me, would you?
100%.
You're willing to go out like without internet?
I've gone before. I loved it.
A
How long
family
did you
just
go?
went off
6
the grid
months?
and died.
What?
A family just went off the grid to like live
I
off
heard
the
about
grid
that, yeah.
and they all died. Imagine you're
Wait,
like,
wait, hold
kids, we're gonna learn about nature. We're gonna get back.
I don't have an issue.
But they actually went to like an excluded area.
I don't have an issue with like electricity. Like I don't mind if the cabin has electricity.
No,
like
imagine Kourosh comes and guys, I'm living off the grid. You just go off a freeway and he's like 2 minutes away. It's jungle here, guys.
no, but
Last exit.
And then you hear, what's that? It's a bear.
no, but the happiest times I've ever been has been when I've been
On your knees.
disconnected. What the fuck, man?
What?
Hey, okay. So when
That
I'm
was
giving a
unnecessary.
when I'm giving a heart,
What did you say?
I said on his knees. He's like, this is-
Jesus, man.
Low bar. Low bar.
it was pretty low.
No.
the fuck?
Okay, so give us examples where you didn't have internet or whatever.
I was in Cambodia on an island, and it was like a 10-hour hike, and like into like the mountains.
That's 10 hours only, bro.
Okay, I was in Kenya for a week without internet
Okay.
or electricity. There was nothing.
And you enjoyed it?
I loved it. It's the single happiest moment of my life.
It's distraction as well. Like when there's no, like when you're so attached.
Bro,
to
the
your
best
phone.
memory I have was we were there. This was a couple of days in, and at night you don't have internet, so you don't have anything to do. So everyone would just sit around the fire and you just like talking shit, telling stories and all of that, just like legit like talking to people.
That's talking, right? That's the biggest thing.
I don't want to go alone. Like I don't mean like I want to go be fucking Unibomber, just live in a cabin alone. Like
Or Tarzan, by the way. You could have made
Why
a
do you have
better
to go like
example.
this? I don't want to be a fucking serial killer. Like,
I feel
can you
like
imagine he's sitting in a wooden cabin? I guess it's time to kill people.
I mean,
He's looking around. This is beautiful. It's time to kill. Like,
the next village
yeah, I'm bored.
over.
I'm gonna go kill people.
Just leave me in like an Amazon jungle. Next day, half the indigenous people are like wiped out.
God. No, but I also had the same experience when I went into the military. Same. You don't have no access to. We had electricity, but no access to any internet. So.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with electricity. Just to clarify.
No, but do you like? It is so weird walking up to someone you don't know and just starting a conversation.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, that was so easy. Like when I was 3 years old, fucking 4 or 5 years old, you'd go talk. If you had a toy,
You lived in a good country, by the way. Just like, you know.
what do you mean? Like, you didn't go to fucking
You didn't get
kindergarten?
molested.
You
No.
didn't go- Okay, yo.
That's what you're saying. It's like, you just went on street. So what you doing? Selling candy? You want some?
Hey, what's going on here? It's like a bunch of guys.
You don't have to get on your knees. You're short enough.
Guys, I feel like
I was a very pretty child. What happened?
What are you trying to say? All right.
Silence. I was like,
You know what's funny actually? We never used to have ice cream trucks here. Never.
Okay.
Yeah. And then one day, I remember, like I was 5 years old, 6 year old, bro. You hear the most terrifying, and then you look outside and you're like, there's no way any. And then you see, bro, thousands of kids, like zombie apocalypse kind of shit, going to the door, smacking. Like they didn't know how to interact, so they're just throwing money at the van, and the guy's like, wait. You know? And my family wouldn't let me go. They're like, no, we have to come out with you because in this neighborhood it's dangerous. I'm like, there's 7,000 of them out there. They're gonna pick me.
you said you were a pretty kid, so bro.
Your mom hands you knee pads. Like, go get some ice cream. I don't have change today.
You know, in Iran we didn't have ice cream trucks either, but we had this van. Remember? That would buy
Whoa.
secondhand shit. Like he was just at 7 a.m. in the morning going around.
They
the
go
street.
through every street with like one of those megaphones. They're like,
Watermelon.
fridge, stove, anything you guys have, we'll buy. Like,
Really?
And they'll buy everything secondhand for like a cent on a dollar, and then they'll go and sell it at like a
Why do you say cent on dollar?
like. Sorry.
No one here uses dollar.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want Iranian currency for
No, just like dirham.
Okay, Filts on the dirham. like, sorry. Did you get my point? We're good.
it was so unnecessary. The whole interaction could have been avoided.
No, I just don't like
Actually,
this
there's no
American
one else.
whitewash, dude.
50% of our viewers are from US, so
Doesn't mean they're Americans.
US.
they still know the currency if they live in that country.
And I'm pretty sure everyone knows the dollar.
Wait, 50% of our
You want
of our viewers is American.
America, yeah.
This is the time, boys.
God bless America, man.
Apply for
We
a
need
passport.
sleeper cells.
Oh my God. Hey. No.
We gotta beep that.
Yeah,
I wonder,
love
what,
it.
I wonder what he said. Like, I'm so angry. But
but yeah, that
were you
the
talking
van thing going on. So we didn't have that experience
Yeah,
either.
no,
We
ice
ju-
cream, yeah.
what, Iran didn't have ice cream?
No, we
No,
did.
ice cream
we
trucks.
had bomb ass fucking ice cream. We just clarify. Good ice cream.
Bomb ass fucking.
Good ice cream. But we didn't
started
have an ice
young,
cream
Trump.
truck.
What's funny? It goes there. I want vanilla. Okay, put this jacket on. It's like holding it like
Have you seen the Real House? The
Real Housewives of ISIS. There's a beheading next. Oh man.
Oh my god, that was so
I don't know
good.
what to wear.
You know what I loved the most? All the chicks in it had British accent.
He convinced me within a week I was here.
Bro, but that's actually a lot of them came from
Yeah.
from the UK. A lot of them came from like dude. How does an ISIS member, right?
Bro, the Riz game is good.
What the fuck does that mean? By the way?
Riz?
Riz game.
Like being able to
Seems-
pick up chicks.
Yeah, I actually kind of really disappointed you said Riz game.
That's
I'm a finna disappointed.
It's okay. I know
What the
that.
fuck is finna mean?
what?
What does finna mean?
I'm going to.
Wait, what is
So
it?
bro, I'm a finna beat your ass. I'm gonna beat your ass.
Right? I don't know.
I don't even know what the word is. Can someone tell me?
There's a word they use instead of
Okay.
saying I'm going to or
Yeah.
I'm gonna. They say I'm finna.
Finna?
I got you.
What the fuck? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I
Riz,
barely-
Riz.
but that's everywhere.
Next minute you're gonna have nail polish on.
I'm going to.
Yeah. Okay.
That sounds a lot harder to say than I'm going to.
Yeah, I'm a finna.
No, but like, let me get on the mic. I was so confused because like they were like, there's these posts on like Instagram and stuff that said Riz game. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
No, but that's the thing. Like these ISIS members like wooed these women. Like, yes, you will come to like some outskirts in Iraq where there's no electricity, and they're living in the UK, and be like, you'll come here, be my wife,
Yeah.
and I will probably have 3 other wives, and you will enjoy.
I don't think that's quite how they fucking advertise it.
Have you, there was a documentary about it, by the way. Have you seen
Really?
it? Yeah, there was a really interesting. I forgot the name, but
From which perspective?
from the perspective of women going there, and they interviewed them. Like, no, they interviewed them. ISIS let them go there and interview the women. And they're like, "Do you like it here?" And she's like, "Yes, it's very nice."
What you gonna say?
I was honeypotted.
the one that says not nice. We're gonna come back tomorrow for a follow-up question. Where is she? No.
He just puts a cover on all of them. Which one is she? Who?
Guess which one it is? It's just severed heads.
Was it called 3-card Monty? It's just
You know, there's I don't know if there's still it, but there was a show in the
we're getting
States.
flagged for this, right?
No.
He had to say beheaded.
Oh.
You flagged us, bro.
Believe it. But there was a show in the States that, like, for example, these like pedophiles would be having conversation with
You
kids.
mean maps?
No,
Catching a
Did
predator.
you see it? Look at it. No.
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 You're talking about catching a predator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine they have that version for this one.
Bro, that show, there's an episode. So this show went on for years, right?
Okay.
They catch this guy, whatever, they put him in prison. He comes out of prison. They catch him a second time on the same show.
Oh, no.
Because the whole, have you seen that show?
Bro, I've watched a lot of it. Have you?
Yeah, so
my
like,
God.
you know how the host comes in and he's like, oh, whatever. And then he comes out and he's like, you again?
Bro,
You learned nothing.
you know what's really funny? There was
You're
a
dedicated.
bro.
to the
There was a
game.
comedian that called out the Indian guys on the show. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Bro, they're like, you came here to meet a 13-year-old. He's like, yes, I did. And like, bro, they're so chill with it. Like I'm not saying all Indians, but in those the
Yeah,
Indian
that
guys,
show.
bro, they just owned up to it. It's like, you're here to have sexual relations. Go, I am.
So,
And then, what's the guy's name?
where is it?
Something Hansen.
Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen's like, I've never seen Chris Hansen lost for words. He's like,
Okay.
he Uno reversed me. Right?
There was one episode, the guy kept, like, he gets caught or whatever, but he came with a pizza. He's so, like, flustered and whatever, like, he doesn't know what to do. So he just, like, as he's talking about, like, why he's there, he keeps taking a slice of pizza and eating it. It's the best fucking show.
Bro, but imagine if they did a show for that. So, like, imagine one of those members is trying to, like, woo, like,
like a documentary from their perspective.
yeah, like, no, a woman to, like, come to, like, their fucking camp or
They
whatever.
should do Love
it is,
Island, bro.
You know? So they're like, so you try to persuade this woman to leave her family and her country to come to you. I don't know what you're talking about.
She DM'd me.
She was in my DMs.
Bro, it's so weird because there was an ad. I don't know how real this is, but there was an ad that ISIS was hiring a videographer. Like they had the ad out for like what they need and what apps you need to be qualified to use to edit their videos for them. And I was like, this is the wildest shit I've seen.
Was it
Bro,
on,
there
like,
was a big-
freelancer Fiverr?
Bro, there was a big argument because ISIS-led Twitter handles, accounts were not being banned, but people who had narratives that were against, let's say, like trans and stuff, were being removed from Twitter. But ISIS recruitment pages were left on Twitter.
Bro, even like back in the day, I remember Justin Bieber had a fucking.
Oh, thank God. I was like,
Justin Bieber had a music that like one of his songs it really got hated, and this is back in the day when it would show on YouTube like the number of dislikes he got. ISIS beheading video that was on YouTube had less dislikes than a Justin Bieber song.
no, but
Which was hilarious.
That is actually
but can you imagine after? So I was very happy that I don't know if ISIS is still there, but I was very happy that they were dismantled. Like they lost a lot of power.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you see like on the tabloids of women going, I want to come back to England. Like they want to go back to England and the government's not allowing them. And you made
No,
your bed,
because
sleep in it.
certain countries when you're traveling to, like if you're American or British, when you're leaving the airport, they're like, do you know where you're going? And then you have to sign a form that from that point on, that country is not responsible for you as a citizen to rescue you. So let's say you're traveling to an area.
But they shouldn't go back. Would you?
Yeah, no,
Like if you were a woman or a man or whatever who went to, let's say, this extremist group, right? Knowing
issue-
that you're doing this kind
the
of stuff.
issue is a lot of them are young, like very young, like 17.
they're like brainwashed to like kind
Yes,
of
like you can't judge them as you would like if a 40-year-old woman or guy whatever goes and joins, you're like, yeah, fucking let them rot there if they change their mind. But if it's like a 17-year-old that ran away from the family, or I don't know, 18-year-old girl that like, and then she reaches 20, she's already been ganked by a bunch of them. No, because that's what happens. Like if you watch those documentaries you're talking about, the shit that it's not like they go there, get married, and live happily ever after.
It was actually like that. To be honest. It was like
I don't know who produced the documentary you watched, but
bro. Bro, there was videos of like they would take their families out to stay by the river,
like
and you'd
brunch.
see like a what?
To brunch or like
No, like the ISIS fighters would have their families, and they'd be like, you'd have the guards and stuff, and it was like, yeah, this is a normal day for
yeah,
us.
bro. Those are called propaganda videos. Those aren't the actual documentary.
It's not. Actually, the documentary was to go against them, but they were showing because we are an established state now. We want to show you that actually life is a little bit normal.
Yeah.
It wasn't normal. It was like,
No,
It
but,
was not the way you were like.
yeah,
no, but my point is like it's really hard to say like at first sight you're like yeah fuck everyone that went there, let them stay there, but like when you think about it that like they fucking brainwash someone that's super young, they go there, go through a horrible time, and they're asking for help because no one else is gonna help them. Like it's really hard to say yeah fucking leave them there.
no, but they only wanted to come.
Yeah, but
You know, it's hard.
But think about there's always the other side of it, right? So it could be that whole concept gets taken as an advantage. So they are still that brainwashed kind of a person.
Yeah.
And they just want to go back to act as like a.
Yeah, it's not like they bring them back and there are no no watch list or anything.
No, of course
like,
they
you know?
should be. I'm
No,
just
but like
saying,
let me give you a simpler example. R. Kelly, you guys know what he did with like children and shit, right?
Yeah,
the
Pistol
singer.
Yeah.
Like he basically had like a whole squad of like young girls that he brainwashed, and when the parents would try to come and get the girls back, they wouldn't go with him. That's a form of brainwashing. Are you saying that you should just let the girls be there, or like with however you can get them out of there?
Get them out, but this time use soap, not piss for brainwashing.
No, I get what you mean, and that's true. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, you
know?
don't know the idea, but it's like, if you initially look at it, it's like they picked their hand, thinking that this regime was going to be there forever,
Yeah,
and they have this new life. But now it's gone tits up. It's like,
yeah.
oh, now we want to come back and stuff because.
No,
but I get you.
like,
They're young.
You know,
and
God
stuff.
forbid. Obviously, it's hypothetical, but like, imagine you had a daughter, and for whatever reason, she got brainwashed, and then you have no way of getting her back, and the government puts a policy that we're not going to do anything about it.
Airstrike.
Heartbroken. You're heartbroken, obviously, but like.
I think it's a lot more than just I'm heartbroken.
No, heartbroken.
Time to make another one.
I like how mine was very low. I was like airstrike.
I mean,
Your daughter, Jeez,
Dude. I mean,
no doubt in my mind. You guys gonna join that shit.
no, but people.
God
don't-
forbid this.
No, no.
it's like in the movies you're on the hey, Dad, are you gonna get me back? Look up.
Can you tell me? Wait,
That's for you.
Catch it.
where are you? I'm in a like a
Hut.
a hut, yeah. The one on the left. What?
No.
But that's
Depends where you're looking from.
but that's
Perspective.
Imagine you hit some other daughter in a different hut because you were coming from the opposite door.
some guy comes. Hey, wait your damn turn. No, but the thing is that people don't understand that the West was so like crazy about ISIS and stuff like that, but the people who suffered the most were Arabs. ISIS literally destroyed years of history from Baghdad, from all these places.
Any local of the area they were in, basically.
No,
Even
but
historical.
that's what I'm saying.
kind of-
They destroyed so much. They killed so many people. Like, again, if that kind of regime was out there and your kid goes there, I'm sorry.
By the way, that
It's my
kind of
mistake.
Ignorance is something that really I really makes me angry. It's the same thing like with Alexander the Great. Like, yeah, he was a great conqueror and stuff like that.
Perspective.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this from perspective of Persian, right? That he burnt Persepolis was like a great fucking historical
City.
Site.
not city. It was site, and he burned down all the libraries. Persia.
But you know why they did that, right?
They didn't want to show the world how great.
No, because we went to Rome and burnt Rome down first.
Persia never burnt Rome down.
Yeah, we did. And then the day after the king regretted the decision, so he funded to rebuild it.
But Alexander's before Rome.
Wherever the fuck he was.
no.
Not the Rome today. Whatever.
No, I'm not saying-
Whatever it is.
The Iranians went now that we burned it. Yeah. What is the fucking?
Oh shit! Sorry, Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are fighting here. Let 'em
Oh
be.
my god, have you seen that shit?
Bro,
Do you want to get an MMA fight? Have you seen this?
Yeah, I mean,
Bro,
when you,
Did you watch the Nate Diaz Jake Paul fight? What did you think?
I mean, I don't think
Nate was really slow, right?
the guy was not training. Did you not see him? He was smoking up. He was doing this. And
that's him always.
No. But compared to
Jake.
Jake won, but on points. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
but like if it was like I mean, this is a stupid argument, but if it was like a no time limit thing, Nate would have fucked him up.
Yeah, but like.
But yeah,
he
I know.
won.
I
no,
know.
but at the end, by the end of the rounds, Jake Paul was done.
Done,
Like,
yeah,
done.
yeah.
But that's the
There
thing.
was a funny moment that Jake like kind of like bent down and Nate just grabbed his neck, started choking him a little bit. Yeah.
but I believe Nate never wanted to win because for him it's just money. Like
No,
he's already
no. I completely disagree. He's not that type of person. No. It's not. I'm not saying he trained his hardest and whatever, but
No,
he's
he'll
not
go
that-
into the fight, but he didn't. He doesn't have to win. That's the thing.
That's a different thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
But
he
I don't
doesn't
think
have
he
to
did
win.
it only for the money.
No, bro. He has nothing else. He's not going to fight anymore. Yeah. Imagine someone comes to you and says, "I'll give you $5 million to fight." You know the reason why he retired, yeah?
No.
Because he doesn't he doesn't
that,
like to
yeah.
train anymore.
Yeah.
He doesn't. So now imagine he's already leaving, right? And his last big fight was against Conor McGregor, and then his fights after that he just kept losing, right? He said he could still fight, but he just doesn't enjoy the training that goes the months before. And then a kid comes to you and says, "Listen, you're gonna get paid $5-6 million to fight me." Now, Nate Diaz is he already has a resume of people he's fought. He'll go in there not having to train, enjoy his time, get publicity. Be a Stockton guy he is.
Yeah.
Fight, but there was no drive for him to win.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. Like I
actually
think
thought it
I think
was a
Tommy
good
Fury
fight.
beats him again. I think Tommy Fury beats him again.
Tommy Fury is fighting KSI now.
He's gonna put
Yeah.
the floor
Yeah, I think.
he's
so.
gonna destroy KSI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, have you seen this Problem Child documentary of Jake Paul?
I saw it on Netflix. I didn't watch it. Like I saw it came up, but I didn't watch it. It's
Nice,
good.
nice. I mean,
Is it like the Connor one? Is it like bullshit like that, or is better?
what would you say about Connor's was bullshit?
I mean, there was really good, genuine points that I saw glimpses of the Connor that like made me his fan, but a lot of it was that like I felt like the documentary was just so he can make more money, not that he would actually let you in, because there wasn't like any. It was just
Genuine
like,
moments.
they just like follow him for a day, and then you can say like there was no like genuine.
I would
moments.
say just by like you understand how he got into the fight game, Jake Paul, and I honestly believe that Jake Paul loves the sport.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
And I think he's very genuine compared to his brother. His brother is very ungenuine. Like his brother is very, very diplomatic and very, very, like one thing. Sorry, because maybe you don't follow this kind of stuff.
I do.
You do? Okay. So
Lately, maybe a lot
No,
much
but-
more because Rogan. Like I actually go and like watch the
fights.
the MMA one. Yeah.
no, but in this one, you see like Jake Paul always calls out his brother. Yeah. And Logan, so the boxing started with Logan Paul and KSI, right? That was the first fight.
First YouTuber fight.
YouTuber fight. That actually before that it was KSI and Joe Weller.
Yeah. But that one.
But
didn't really,
but that was the first ever fight. Yeah, that
Yeah.
happened. But the biggest one was Jake Paul versus Deji, which is KSI's younger brother, and Logan Paul versus KSI. Deji lost, Logan lost, and you see how it impacted Jake Paul. After seeing his brother lost, you'll watch the video. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
watch
I'm
the
gonna watch
documentary.
it. Yeah.
He's impacted by that shit hard. And he goes, "I'm going to destroy KSI." And then you can see whenever Jake Paul calls out his brother, he says, "You're a snake." He tells his brother, you are a snake. This guy's your enemy. He made you look like a fool on TV and stuff. And now I'm trying to fight him and you won't step in to be on my side."
See, I get that, but also I get the other perspective as well. Because Logan and KSI never had proper beef till it came to that fight. And a lot of that was clearly to just promote the fight to make money. So, like, I get that, like, the perspective he's saying that, like, you look like a snake because you lost to him, he made you look like a fool, which he didn't, by the way. They both looked like shit. It wasn't, like, high-level boxing, their fights.
No, actually, I would say Logan Paul is a very good boxer.
Relax with the very...
Compared to KSI?
For a YouTuber, yeah, but in general, a good boxer, no.
Okay, I would say that he's in that fight between Logan Paul and KSI. I would say Logan Paul looked like
He looked more professional.
He looked like he was learning boxing, and
Yeah.
and he has some potential to be better than he is.
But how do you know all of these stuff is not just for publicity?
That's
just
what I'm saying.
the
Like,
other
I
one?
think a
even
huge.
him calling out his older brother about all these.
No,
stuff.
I think no. That I genuinely believe it because Jake doesn't seem to be the type to have a filter. He just says
Exactly,
whatever the fuck
exactly.
he says. But the point that like he's saying that like, oh, you're acting like a snake. You were having beef with this guy, and then you went into business with him, and you made Prime and all of that. I think Logan is more of the entertainment guy, right?
Yeah.
He wants to be entertaining. He's always been from his vlog days and all of
Yeah,
that.
but his podcast. Have you
His
watched
podcast?
His podcast. I don't enjoy it because
There's very few episodes. There's very few episodes, and I don't enjoy it because
Send
of
me
him.
those that you like because like
I don't enjoy
really
it because
got
of
turned-
him. I mostly
Andrew
enjoy it.
Santino came on.
Yeah.
It was nice, but like I felt like it would have been better if Jake Paul was out
Yeah.
and it was that other guy. What's his
Logan
name?
Paul.
No, sorry, Logan Paul was out. What was the other guy's name?
Mike. Something.
Yeah, that Mike
I
guy.
don't like that guy at all.
No, we've had this conversation probably
Yeah.
before about like why you dislike him, but like how he was carrying it out in the
He's
conversation.
the main.
and stuff.
He's the main. Logan is not.
Yeah.
Logan is just there
Just
for the
a name.
publicity.
But they have
Yeah.
to be doing something right because they keep getting views.
Oh
and
no,
stuff like
definitely.
that,
But
yeah.
my point is that like I don't see it as a snake move. If you did that fight for entertainment, for money, and you created beef, maybe there was a little bit of actual beef, but like you created everything around that promotion to sell that fight, and then later on you went to business with the guy. I don't see that as a snake move.
Yeah, but then imagine like okay, so imagine
It's not like
no. So
fucking-
imagine like this, yeah. So in that scenario, you're right? But imagine if your brother, right,
Yeah.
doesn't like your partner, and your partner keeps saying shit about your brother, keeps saying like he even talks about his dad. He's like, yeah, you know that hick, whatever.
Bro, it's very different when you're in the. All you do is
Talk shit.
for public. No. KSI, Logan Paul, all these characters, their whole life is public. That's what they got. It's very different than like, oh, me in the position I am with like however it is. Yeah, my brother has has a problem with the guy. It's a
That's
very
the end
private
of that,
thing.
Actually,
you know?
the guy's dead.
Yeah, it's a very private thing, but it's very different for them because they're public personas.
Yeah, they're marketing
They
and
make
stuff.
their money from being a public persona, from having beef, from all this shit. You know, you
But that-
can't see it from
but
the same
that's
lens.
no. But that's the thing. That's why I respect Jake Paul. Like, look, Jake Paul is an entertainer, and watch the documentary, and he wears his heart on his sleeve, telling you everything. He's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
look, I talk shit about people. I'm an entertainer. Boxing is entertainment.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
And second, fighting. You know what I mean? And bro, Mike Tyson says some really good shit about.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was surprised, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think.
I just think they're very different type of entertainers. Logan is the filtered, more like
filtered now maybe.
No,
after what
always,
happened in
always. It
After
was-
what happened in Japan, or
even that like
fuck that.
that he didn't filter. Like what I mean by filtered, I mean like the persona he is. There was thought behind it and picked
What
the
to say
characters.
and
Yeah,
everything.
all of that.
Now it's
And-
like that.
No,
Before-
even back in the day, but that thing that got him canceled, that was a miscalculation on the persona. But I feel like Jake is different. That like he's actually who like his
is.
actual personality.
When the
was-
camera's off, he's the same person.
Yeah, he's the same person, and a lot of people don't like it. I personally don't like his character, but his boxing, I think from
Where
someone
he
that
was-
started like 3 years ago.
And remember,
is
we talked
really
about this
good.
before, and I said it was shit. Remember, I said to you he was shit. But again, there's that curve, and look.
Every fight he's getting better.
every fight is getting better. But the thing is that also, you know, when you watch the documentary, regardless, it takes balls to step in there and fight someone.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Because
And-
even if you're doing it for entertainment, the moment you're in the ring, all that shit is outdoor.
Yeah, and the thing is that another thing which I think his latest podcast, Logan Paul's latest podcast, is with Jake Paul,
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
and he talks about now Logan Paul wants to get into boxing, back into boxing, and dude, they go at each other. Like I would say, watch it. You see how
I saw some shorts of.
you see how Jake Paul and Logan talk, and Logan's like, you couldn't beat Tommy, so I want to go for Tommy. I gave you Tommy, and I was supposed to go for Nate. And like, Logan just has this ego where he's like, I'm the better brother. I'm this. You had your chance, and
How old is he? Logan Paul.
27 or so.
yeah, they're young.
Jake Paul.
I think it's 24.
A couple of years
25, yeah.
younger. Maybe it's like 2 years younger.
But
3 years younger.
yeah, I mean, as both entertainers, I mean, they're doing something right. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. You can't, like, as business people, like, you can't doubt it. Like, they build an empire, man. They're fucking millionaires, like, at that age, regardless if we
At-
like their personality,
Bro,
don't
at
like their
18,
personality.
years old, Jake Paul had a what was it, $17 million house.
Yeah.
Did
crazy.
you hear
No.
about the ones that they moved to? Where did they move to?
Puerto
Puerto
Rico.
Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
They moved to Puerto Rico, and when they bought the villa, basically they were like, I think I'm probably gonna butcher the fact, but like they grabbed these jeeps and they went on the beach and everything, and they fucking drifted on the beach and shit, and they killed so many turtles. And what happened was that turtles were actually endangered.
I don't know if this is real. Because
No,
it
I
is.
think it is. Yeah. 'Cause,
That's
because I heard also then they're kicking them out of Puerto Rico.
no,
There
was-
I
there
guess
was
there were
talks
some
of it,
legal
yeah.
issues because they legit like killed endangered species.
species. Yeah.
And like he fucked
Bro,
up.
since when do we give so much shit about turtles? Because I feel like when we were young, no one gave a shit about turtles.
But that's why no one gave a fuck then. Now there's no more.
Yeah, but like, it's not like turtles are like bees that are like
No, but
they're
it's an
essential to the
No, but don't you think?
ecosystem.
But don't you think it's so like? You see, this is where I mean, sometimes you say stuff that's so aggressive, and you're like, "Who gives a shit about turtles and stuff?" But you yourself, if you're a dog or you see an animal that's
No,
hurt,
don't
you're gonna
compare-
help that.
Don't compare dogs to turtles.
No, no,
It's not the same.
no, no, no. So if you see an animal that's injured,
Yeah.
and there's chance for its survival, you're not gonna help it.
Depends. Does it lead to me drinking out of a paper straw every time I go to Starbucks?
I really disagree with the whole paper straw thing because one is fucking annoying. Second of all, is that it's given to
There's
me
metal
in a
by the way, now
plastic
you can
cup.
use.
It's given to me in a plastic cup. So you're giving me a full plastic cup, but a paper straw. What the fuck is that logic?
No, but the difference here is that you're talking about a straw, right? When am I ever gonna have a Starbucks and then go walk to the ocean and be like, you know what?
No, but
Bro,
that's where
but
the
the
trash lands.
garbage
That was
ends
the
up
whole
there,
campaign
like,
for
that's
Save
the-
the Turtles.
No, but how does the trash land there if I'm not like?
I know
No,
the
but
whole
that-
Littering by the beach and going in the water, people throwing it, it eliminates that chance. Yeah, but I'm saying to you is in like, as me knowing you being someone who likes animals and respects animals more than people, right?
some animals.
What
Bro.
animal don't you respect?
no, but
A lot of
hold
them.
up.
Like an example. Like I'm not saying a
Koalas.
fly. What?
Whatever.
Did you say a koala?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got chlamydia. I mean, it's like
Isn't that
No, they do have a
STD?
chlamydia,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it doesn't. It's not the same that we get. It's
No,
a different
I've heard
strand.
that. No, but wait, bro. The whole turtle thing
There
is
was I don't remember which comedian made this joke. I think it was Tom Segura. I think
Theo
he used
Theo
to-
Von.
No,
No,
it was Tom Segura.
yeah.
It was like he went to Australia, and I'm gonna butcher this, but he went to Australia, and the zookeeper was like, "They do have chlamydia, but please don't talk about it on stage. Everyone talks about it. It's so cliche and whatever." So he came on stage on his special, and he was like, "So they do have chlamydia, but apparently it doesn't. We can't get
Transmit.
it from them. So don't worry, guys. You don't have to wear a condom when you fuck."
No, there was something funnier because someone.
Thank you.
Bro. I think it was. I think it was Tom Segura. Segura is his name?
Yeah,
He was on the phone to Theo Voss.
Theo Von.
Theo Von, sorry. Theo Von. And he was like, man, you hear these koalas? Be careful. These koalas have chlamydia. And he's like, damn, I got some shit too.
Jim Jeffries has a whole bit about
But yeah,
koalas.
like
So-
koalas,
No, wait.
sloths.
No, but I mean, is
Wait,
it
wait,
you
yeah.
would you want would you again? This is at least my belief, right? I don't think we have the right to eradicate animals that like. First of all, no one's eating turtles right now. It's not like, oh my god, I can't get fish. I need to eat turtle.
No, but I just want to get back to this. Littering the ocean was about turtles and everything. It's not like you grab the straw and just throw it, like dart it into the water. It's about the fact that the garbage, like main garbage, is poured into the fucking ocean. Therefore, ends up.
That's
in the,
one. But those are organizations that dump that stuff. I'm
Yeah.
saying.
So minimizing the plastic
Mm-hmm.
that goes into it, that's the point of like instead of a plastic straw, you're getting a paper straw. But the logic is flawed because you're getting a paper straw in a plastic cup, which is much more plastic usage and everything there is. Because there are these so many videos that say if humanity ends, what's the last thing that's gonna be remaining from
Left
us,
over,
left from us? It's plastic. So yeah, I get that's dangerous and all this, the 6-pack thing that like for
Chokes
beers and shit that chokes them, or like fucking like have you seen the turtles that grow up like a fucking like a
Six-pack.
sand what do you call it, the sand hourglass thing, because the fucking thing is stuck in the middle of them.
The can can
so
grip.
the logic of the plastic usage when it comes to these Starbucks or whatever is flawed because paper straw is given to replace when you're getting a plastic
Yeah, we
cup.
call it. Yeah, we call it.
Wow.
No, because I was trying to get the other one.
Every time I'm expecting a new example, he just
No,
gives
because
the
I was
same
saying the
one.
thing, but the conclusion was the same
No,
thing.
but-
Like, that's it. That's the point of it.
It's like, I swear to God, Kourosh, you would be so bad with autistic children. Yeah, we got it. Okay, you drew a fucking.
It's not dyslexia.
no, but I'm saying to you is in like, I don't think you would be like, you know, would you be the kind of person that say, like, I don't give a shit if I run over these animals and this kind of stuff?
Like, man, I'd rather not, but if I did, whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, as in, you're saying why are they getting so anal about it, right?
Yeah.
But it's their indigenous animal that's there. So there are more people that care about
Jake
it.
Paul one, whatever. You know, I tried.
I don't get your point. Then I'm saying, as in, like,
My
why?
point is they're not gonna kick them out because of that, because they bring so much income to Puerto Rico when they don't have fucking electricity or toilet paper.
But that's okay.
You didn't know this? When fucking the hurricanes hit them, Trump was like, "We're basically not gonna help you."
Is that Venezuela or Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's technically I don't know.
It's
whatever the
apparently a
fuck-
part of America. So
it's a part of America, but it's technically not a state. It's kind of like Hawaii. Like,
That's why you don't pay
middle-
taxes.
yeah, you don't pay tax. All I'm saying is Jake Paul brings a lot more income than those fucking turtles did to the country, so they're not gonna kick them out.
I think it's just a
Even if
hit
he was
piece.
a poor person, I think it would be the same thing.
Yeah,
But yeah.
exactly my point. That he's not gonna get kicked out of Puerto Rico because of.
No, I
No,
was
but
just
those
saying
are
that it was
those are
funny that,
liberal
like,
writers that are like, now he's getting kicked out because of this. But I mean, as in you yourself wouldn't go out there and be like, yeah, hit 4 or 5.
No, I'm not aiming for them like on the beach, like another one, 100 points, like That's
That's what I'm saying because you're like the
You
way.
guys
No,
have
but, like-
a metal barrier from the Jeep so I can properly squish those motherfuckers.
Yeah, but like if it happens, it happens. Animals die every day.
The silence, I love it.
No, I mean, like there's nothing like animals do die every day,
Yeah, that's
but it's
what I'm
like
saying.
it's like him reversing.
No, it's different. Purposefully
Oh,
killing
one
them
that-
is
they
fucked
didn't
up.
die today. Where the fucking birds at?
Okay, just to clarify this, I don't mean like purposefully killing them is fucked up.
Exactly.
But I'm saying like, I'm sure Jake Paul didn't. I mean, I'm not sure, but he didn't drive on the beach for the purpose of killing those turtles.
No. That,
Like,
the
it
whole,
happens.
from the story that
Yeah,
I
of
read,
course.
from my understanding, it was an accident.
Yeah.
And they were not aware that they're fucking like endangered
Yeah, they
species.
should put up a
That's-
sign or something. Put a net
Can you
around
imagine being
Or
the,
put it in English, motherfucker. So
Can
we
you imagine being
them.
understand.
Speak English.
Can you imagine being a person that like kills the last species of an animal by accident?
Yeah.
And then they put your name, and sign. This is the guy who ended like the white rhino. Yeah.
So many of the black swan were killed. It's time for some, what do you call it? Retribution?
moving on.
Just made a hate crime from an animal.
No, you know the whole jungle thing? Like, what animals are left?
Yeah, that comes to like also like discussing about that stuff. A lot of people in the West and I think Europe are against these guys who kill like big game.
Yeah, that's like,
What?
I'm against it too. Like,
Big game?
Big game.
Big game
Big game
meaning-
is like lions,
Yeah.
tigers, and bears.
yeah, and the reason for that is why that is fucked up is because, for example, if you want to go hunt a lion in Africa, right? You have to go to a specific place that they keep the lions in cages, and then when you want to kill them, they let them out in this like 1 hectare land, basically that's like fenced in. So it's not like
You're not hunting.
it's not really hunting them. Yeah, it's just like price killing them, and then after they kill them, they don't eat the meat either. So it's
For
very
nothing.
No, but there is ethical ones of those. Like it's called culling. So you know that in certain areas they have to balance the ecosystem.
Yeah,
So you
but
have-
that's mostly in the US. US and Canada, I mean, even Canada is a little off because they're super leftist. But America has the best hunting system set up. Is that with the help of like scientists and all of that, they know the population of every animal and every species, and they know what's the healthy population for that species. They issue a number of tags that you can buy, or from
How many you
lottery
can
you
kill,
win, you can kill. But what?
Did you hear about the story how they were like dropping wolves into the areas because they had to control the coyotes or something like that? So someone was
Coyotes.
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 coyotes. So like imagine that I don't know who was talking about, but imagine like you're just like chilling and then you see a wolf with a like a parachute come down. Motherfuckers. So like drop in.
I got a U.S. military badge on the side.
Like motherfucker.
I think it was for the deer. They were like a large amount of
Yeah, but it's again, that's a very stupid thing. What they're doing is they're introducing. No, this is like proven to be stupid. They're introducing wolves in an area, and with wolves, there's no way of controlling like how much animals they're gonna kill. And
You only have 4 tags.
no, but wolves are one of the only animals that they hunt for fun.
Yeah.
They kill 100 sheep and they don't touch one. They just hunt them and leave.
I don't know that.
So it's a really bad way of controlling population of animals because they just
Wolves kill for fun?
yeah. It's called what they call them.
Open season.
No, I forgot
watched that
what
as
the
a
name.
kid.
And the area
This is not what I remember. It's like a wolf.
the area they're introducing them to, I forgot the name, but there's a lot of deer there, and also it's a sightseeing place. And the deer have become so comfortable being around humans without any predators that you can legit go up to them and like
It's
they
a
want to
myth.
attack you.
It's a myth.
What's a myth?
The wolves kill for fun.
No, that's not a myth. That's 100% proven.
I mean,
There's videos of it.
bro, it literally says here wolves matter.
I don't know what website you're looking at, but I know this for a fact.
If it's Wikipedia.org.
Yeah, this is not arguable. It's a fact.
I mean,
No, it's
Bro,
a fact. It's a
wolf packs, this is National Geographic. Wolf pack slaughters 19 elk in rare surplus killings.
yeah.
Does not.
The number
wolves-
19 is the rare part. It's not the act of it. The surface killing one is surface killing, surplus killing. But my point
what
was
was in our water, dude?
no. But my point is
Fucking
that
spazzing out
they're-
coyote.
they're introducing these wolves in an area that the deers haven't had predators for years,
Yeah.
so they're not adapted to like running
Running
away
away,
from.
yeah.
So they're just gonna get fucking demolished there. And then in a few years, that the deer are gonna be like endangered. animals.
Imagine you're like, oh my god, a deer, let's feed it berries. And as you're feeding it berries, just a wolf comes and snatches
really?
his
Yeah.
like neck and like leaves like, peace guys. Like tag one. Done.
So they say here that the reason that wolves will surplus kill, it's called surplus killing, is either that they are chased off or thrilled by the chaos of the hunt. So like there's like 40 of them.
Yeah.
No, but it's not like they do that a lot. It's that it happens very rarely. Yeah. And the thing is that they either are catching them but then disturbed by other prey, so they go attack that prey. But it's not something that
I'll send you all the stories why that's false.
I mean it's National Geographic.
I'll send you.
But I'm-
Yeah,
okay.
National Geographic is biased as fuck. It's run by a bunch of leftists.
It's like run by sheep. Yeah, these motherfuckers.
No, it's run by
wolf,
wolves.
wolves,
Like,
yeah.
they're safe, man. We definitely
but
don't do
fuck those coyotes. You know, like,
We'll
Dude,
take your trash
the amount
out.
of
so-
time-
now they talk about gray wolves. They're like those gray wolves.
You know how, like, say coyotes. Okay?
Okay.
The amount of shit I know about them because of Rogan
Rogan,
podcast
yeah.
is insane. Like, I feel like every like 1 in 5 episodes, there's like a 20-minute like discussion about them.
Yeah,
like,
because coyotes kill his chickens or some shit, and so he's been
one,
upset with-
like no,
no, a whole cage of them.
Are you sure
Yeah,
it was Rogan?
His dog let him in apparently or something like that.
No, his
Yeah.
no, that
dog
was a different story.
But it still happened.
Yeah,
But the whole
The
idea
coyote befriended his dog and is like, yeah, let me in, man. It's
Yeah.
all good.
well, anyways, let's end the episode here for this week, unless you guys want
No, it's
we hope we change your perspective.
it. On what exactly? We don't know.
Jake
So,
Paul.
so
Like, it's
clearly-
not about that.
Thank
Kourosh-
you guys for asking me, by the way.
bitch. Like, dude.
No
Bro,
one asked
you were the
about-
one
okay.
who took steer. You're like, Faisal, your turn.
Yeah,
And
I
then
was hoping-
wolves.
I was
Wolves.
hoping
Okay,
someone would.
tell us.
No, it's too
No,
late now.
tell us.
Thank you guys for
You're
watching
gonna
this.
have
episode.
it. I'm
No,
calling
actually,
him.
I have two.
Say it.
Can we do that?
Say it.
Oh, fuck.
Do it now.
By the way, in mind of the audience, they're not very like prone to hear when you're like, oh fuck, I guess I have to talk about it.
No, I had two. I forgot one.
I forgot two now. Like,
No.
wolves.
One, the perspective thing was this is actually from Rogan, was that he said that he used to have like anger issues and all of that, and what helped him was when he had children, he started imagining everyone as children, basically. So like when you get angry at someone for doing something that's like stupid or whatever, it's that it's not necessarily them, it's the environment they were raised in. You don't know what kind of childhood they had, and like having that perspective when you are interacting with other people. And as we all know, I have a little bit of anger issues. So
Just a little bit.
yeah. So like since hearing that, I'm not saying I do it all the time, but I'm trying to apply that, and it makes sense. And that kind of like changed my perspective on like, instead of just taking when someone does an action, instead of just taking that for what it is, maybe give a little bit of thought on like
What's
what
the
could have
reasoning
caused it,
behind
and like
Wow.
that being there.
Kourosh is getting. I'm
Deep.
proud of you.
Yeah.
No, I'm proud of you. Like,
Thank you. And then the other one was, well, this has both caused me pain and like brought me joy. But the one time I tried like this type of meditation, I experienced like kind of, this sounds super fucking hippy dippy and shit, but I experienced like leaving my body and like going through the clouds, leaving Earth, and just like kind of like losing myself in the distance.
Yeah.
And what I took away from it was that we are so insignificant. Like, I know that's the thing that everyone knows, but like just visualizing that
Not everyone knows this, by the way.
okay, but we're so insignificant that like no matter what we do, it doesn't matter. So that has brought me like joy sometimes. It's like, don't take everything so seriously, but at the same time, kind of sometimes makes me anxious that like, oh, like
What's the point?
I
I
don't
think it's-
mean,
yeah, I think
don't
it's-
mean shit, you know?
perspective. And
Yeah,
again, like,
exactly.
I mean,
Why are you doing this?
no, because you keep doing perspective. but I think exactly as what you said. Like the ant on the anthill only knows the anthill, right?
Ooh.
But doesn't know. But no. But then if you think about,
Philosopher Faiza.
Exactly. But then
Plato.
no. But the thing is, then exactly, you know, when you take yourself out of the equation, you see that, you know, tomorrow if you're not there, or, you know, whatever happens, the world's gonna still spin.
Yeah.
Right. And
Which can both be good and bad. Like
also, you know, what's
yeah.
really like fucked me up in the mind was when people said that, you know, they say a human being dies twice. One when you physically die, and then one when your name is last mentioned on Earth.
Yeah.
Like someone says your name for the last time. Like, so imagine that people will forget
Unless
you.
your name is like Ahmed or Mohammed. Like, there's
No
never a
way.
last of it.
No, no, fucking bro. I'll just name my kid like A. Like, oh, A, B. He will never die. But it's
Put
like
up a answering machine that never like runs on solar power, so it's always your name on repetition.
No, but the idea is that you physically die, but then your deeds will also die one day because people will stop mentioning
the
them.
legacy that
And
you
that-
behind.
Not if you're Hitler.
I mean, sooner or later it will. Like
Never. I don't think so. I don't think they're letting that one go.
But no. But I think is in again, it's not meant to be like, yeah, go do so, you know. But it's more of looking at it in yourself. The ones you love about, the ones you care about, will.
Gotta cut that part.
I'll beep it up.
All right.
On that note, thank you.
Remove this. Burn it.
Thank you guys for watching this episode of our podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you guys like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also check out our social media channels.
Thank you guys.
See you next week.
Bye bye.
Thank you.